Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the Superdome. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And Dalton going to throw right away. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, for Alvin Kamara, that speed-size combo, just about exactly what you want for a running back. And he uses that size, that strength to bust through a would-be tackler there. The first carry now, this is Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was Justin Houston who got him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
But listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's DeMario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They go play action with Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. The big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air. Gin stats. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
Well, warm-up QB2 is bringing the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
To throw again on second down. Dalton over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So Dalton now. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Dalton's throw caught by Olave. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. After 7-0 on the Ace. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Andy Dalton. Just keeping the ball. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
To about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off. It made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. On the punt, 2 on the return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on
the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They look to throw on third with Dalton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. For the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Jackson. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able. Down conversion.
First down, Ravens.
Now Jackson apparently a little unsure of things, so he'll call a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
One play has them to the 37 here for first and 10. And Dalton to throw. Back to Kamara for another catch. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. To throw here, Dalton. He gets it to Thomas. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
They certainly have to get a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it up. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another run here to Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's Sprawn a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. It'll be a pickup of 4, and the Ravens are going to have a first down. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it. They got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
Paulson and Debo up to make the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. They'll run with Dobbins. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. It'll be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down. Throwing, Dalton. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
Dalton. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A third down pickup of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Big fourth down here. It's Dalton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. This is something that we've seen from Lamar Jackson since back in his Louisville days. He can be so dangerous with the RPO.
Yeah, and whoever designed the RPOs, it's almost like they had a guy like Lamar Jackson in mind because of his ability to do everything. He can tuck it and throw it. He can tuck it and run it. He can hand it off inside when he gets the right read. Bottom line is most teams want him to hand it off because when he takes off and goes, he can break down a defense.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. From the gun on third down, Jackson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Justin Tucker, the kickoff.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory.